Welcome to Deakin Stadium for Finals Football live on Bar TV Sports. Is the NPL Top 4 Final Series, and it is the clash between Canberra, Croatia and Belconnen United, with the outcome being any Belconnen United win, and these two will meet again in the grand final next week. Canberra, Croatia already there, of course. I'm Russ Gibbs, your commentator. Joining me as he did for the first of the doubleheader today, Frank Aisha. Frank, different feel about this one now. It could have been a dead rubber. It could have been game over for Belconnen United. They're still alive because Gungahlin United have beaten Tigers 2-0. Tiger Gunners will be over there, as you said before, wearing their red hats, hoping that Canberra, Croatia win. First of all, Belconnen United, how do they approach the game?
Look, I guess, Russ, it's almost the same as Tigers in the last game. They want to stay in it as much as they can and hopefully hit the lead sometime near the end of the game, really. I know it sounds odd, but they don't want to push too many ends forward, because if they do that early and they put themselves out of the picture, then they've got nothing to play for. So they'll really want to stay in it or hit the lead, but keep Canberra, Croatia goalless for as long as they possibly can.
Conversely, Dean Greenwich's team, they're already there. They're already in the grand final next week, and if you like, they can play into their own hands. Do they want to play Gungahlin United? Do they want to play Belconnen United? Not suggesting they're going to throw this in any way, shape or form, but their mindset would obviously be a little bit different than if they have to come out and win this game.
Yeah, I agree. It's and no one's going to suggest that anyone's going to pick a team to play against, because even though Canberra, Croatia have earned the right to do that, they won't. They're undefeated all year, and they'll want to maintain that record as much as they can. And the onus is going to be on Belconnen to come out and try and win this.
And we could see that, judging by the 11 that Dean Greenwich has picked this afternoon. We will talk about that in just a moment. We were here for the league game between the two. Belconnen, well, you weren't. I think I was up here with, might have been Grace Gill, I can't remember at the time. It was 2-1 to Belconnen within stoppage time. There was those really two late goals. Can they take anything from that performance? Will they look back at that and go, well, we were close. We were in stoppage time of getting a win, and we've lost the game?
If I was Paolo Maker, I would be harping on that game a lot. I would be saying that we were within touching distance of a result. We were in touching distance of actually competing for the league championship if they were giving one out this year. So I think they'll take a lot of heart out of that. But I think the other thing is that Paul can also really concentrate on their whole concentration levels and making sure they play for 94 minutes, because even if Belconnen are up with a minute or two to go, there's nothing. Deakin have got a record here, or Croatia have got a record here of getting late goals, so they need to stay switched on. They need to take their opportunities and give themselves every chance to make that final next week.
How tough is this next 90 minutes going to be for Marcel Munoz and his Gungahlin team? They've done their job as best they can. Sitting there, though, with your fate in somebody else's hands is always a little bit tricky, isn't it? It's difficult.
Yeah, I think for Marcel, the only consolation is right now is that they've done all they can do. They've kept a clean sheet and they've got the win on the board. Now all they can do is wait. And at the end of the day, like whether they make it or not, if they happen not to make it through to the next week's grand final, then at least they finish the season with a win, which not many teams will be able to do. So there's going to be some sort of consolation for Marcel. It's either a grand final berth or finishing the season with a positive result.
What they do have, which nobody else in NPL has, is a winning record in NPL history against Canberra, Croatia. From 2013 to date, they've won 7 of the 16 games to Canberra, Croatia's 6. Now, they're the only team that have done that, which suggests that somewhere along the line, even this season we saw it, last year they got 2 wins against Canberra, Croatia as well. So Belconnen are a little bit of a bogey side for this home side.
Yeah, and that's a very interesting stat, isn't it? But because even when Canberra, Croatia were quite dominant, throughout some of the periods over the last, 10 or so years, or 7 or 8 years. So it's a very good record for Belconnen to take into this game, and something that again that Paul will be able to talk about to the boys in pre-match, or has already done so during the week.
When you look back across the statistics of the 16 games played in NPL history from that period, 2013 to now, 6 wins for FC, 7 for Belco, 3 draws, 32 Croatia goals and 30 for Belconnen. So there's never a lot between these two sides, and to be quite frank, we're not expecting much different today, are we? It's going to be a tight one.
It's going to be tight, but I think the fact that someone needs to win means that there's going to be opportunities at both ends, because as soon as you start throwing men forward means that there's going to be space somewhere else. And then again, you got to question, not question, but you go through mentally the mindset of some of the Canberra Croatia boys. Like, are they going to be as tough in the tackle as they would be normally, knowing that they've definitely got a grand final next week to play, and Belconnen are still up in the air about that.
As I mentioned, we'll go through those two sides for you in a moment. At what stage of the afternoon, though, Frank, as we get ready for kick-off here, does Paul McCaw go, right, we've really got to go for it now? A draw's no good, we need to win. Do you take that mentality from the kick-off, or do you take that mentality, you see how it goes for 15 minutes, do you try not to concede early? I mean, I was saying last week about Gungahlin scoring early goals, but Canberra Croatia have been getting plenty of early ones as well.
Yeah, I guess it all depends on what the score is at the time, Russ. I mean, my mindset would be, look, first and foremost, don't concede. Just make sure that we stay in the game, and if they don't concede, then they're definitely in the game. They're happy to get one at the other end, even more, reason not to concede and let them back in. So, look, we know Paul and the way he coaches, and he makes no secret about making sure that his side's pretty tight at the back, and their back four have been excellent all year.
The all-important sides then. Let's take a look. Canberra Croatia make 3 changes from the side which thrashed Gungahlin United 5-0 last week. There's returns from Michael Pocci and Daniel Subasic in defence, and Dom Gianpaolo up front. Slight shift in formation, we think, as well, with a 4-3-1-2 for Dina Grinic today. We'll see if that plays out. Sam Brown in goal. A back four of Jordan Lamb and Michael Pocci wide. Matt Gudabisha and Daniel Subasic in central defence. Midfield in front of that, Nico Oido, Ryan Keir and Emilio Kishta. Daniel Colbertaldo probably given a free rein to float around as he normally is. Dom Gianpaolo partners Daniel Badac up front. If there was any question about whether or not Canberra Croatia were taking this seriously, that lineup seems to dispel those.
Yeah, but by all intents and purposes, Russell, I mean, Canberra Croatia could probably start another 5 other players, and they'd still have a side that would take on any side in this competition. But talking to Daniel Colbertaldo before the game, he tells me he's a striker now. And he's been telling me for years he's full of goals. He's full of something, but he's great value there, Colber, and we wish him all the best.
The bench, Ivan Pavlak, Jason Ugrinic, if he comes on, will play his 150th NPL match today. Nick Bobolas and Seb Arantz, the young goalkeeper. There's players in this Canberra Croatia side, and we'll talk about it during the game. They'll be playing for a grand final place next week.
Correct, and there's players on that bench that would pretty much walk into any starting 11 in the competition as well, Ross. So there's a lot of depth there, and we've said it all season that the ability for them to have stability really goes a long way to their success.
One change for Belconnen United. Paul McCaw brings in Leon Mickle for the unavailable Max Melik in midfield. Other than that, it's the settled formation that they've had for most of the season. Strikingly, none of these players that will start, apart from Mickle, have come off the bench at all. They've all started every game. Belconnen United, Jordan Thurtell in goal, Zach Mabry, Phil Bourgeot, Isaac Clements, Darren Bailey, all across the back four. Most of them have played for the entire season. Midfield settled four as well. Luca McCaw, Dustin Wiles, Adrian McCaw and Leon Mickle. Kofi Danning and Luca Flores provide the firepower. It is a settled Belconnen side. It's what we expected.
You get the feeling that maybe Paul did his whiteboard with a permanent marker at the beginning of the season, Russ. It doesn't seem to vary very much at all. So, look, it's a stable lineup. It's really excelled under the Makor brothers at the helm, and all to play for. And I think it's really important for especially that front two. They've been outstanding all year. I think Kofi Danning's really brought an extra dimension to Belconnen, and Luca Flores has really flourished with that partnership.
On the bench, Jacob Gardner, Michael Tarazi, and a potential debut for Australian schoolboy international Cassidy Tando as well. Reece Flissinger is the substitute goalkeeper. Nathan Shakespeare in the middle. Bruno Kell and Liam O'Rourke alongside him. I'm going to avoid any puns. Nathan Shakespeare expected me to make a couple today. He'd be disappointed if I didn't. So, to confirm, any Belconnen United victory will put them in the grand final. A draw, not good enough. A draw would see Gungahlin United play Canberra Croatia next week. The Blue Devils know what is in front of them, and no doubt they'll be amped for this. They would have prepped for this during the week, though, wouldn't they, Frank? They wouldn't have worried about the game that was before them, going, well, we can't affect that. We have to just focus on this one. Assume that we need to win to go to the final.
Yeah, all week they would have basically said that they need a result. They need 3 points out of this game, regardless of what happens. Whether that was playing for a place in the grand final or not, they still needed to approach this game knowing that they needed something out of it. And same sort of scenario as Gungahlin. They're either playing in the grand final with a win, or finishing the season on a positive note.
Earlier this season, 93rd minute, Emilio Kishta penalty. 95th minute, Jason Ugrinich won it for Canberra, Croatia. Round 11 last season, 92nd minute, Michael Tarazi won it for Belconnen United. So don't go anywhere if this game ticks into stoppage time, because there may well be a goal.
Absolutely, Russ, and that's something that I think both these clubs will, like I said before, they really need to be able to play all the way to the final whistle today, and make sure that the concentration levels are at the highest peak at those sort of times.
The Blue Devils were the last team to lower Canberra, Croatia colours. 14-game unbeaten run in regular season NPL football. Their last loss in round 13 last year to Belconnen United. In that spell, they've scored 45 and conceded 12. It's fair to say that last year's slump, if you want to call it that, is well and truly behind them.
Yeah, under Dean Ugrinich, they've turned over a new leaf and basically recaptured some of the glory days that they've had in the past there. So it's a big moment here for Canberra, Croatia, and even going into the grand final, which we know they're going to do, whether they go in undefeated or not, is another big thing. Because sometimes it sounds odd, but you need a loss. Sometimes you just need a loss before these big games, and it sounds a bit odd, but it just sort of actually relieves some pressure.
They know the way to the net. Canberra, Croatia, they've only failed to score once in the last 25 matches, and in 12 of those, almost half, they've scored 3 or more. So they are full of goals, as are the front two at Belconnen United. Kofi Danning with 3 this season in 9 games, and Luca Flores, the leading scorer in the competition, with 6. The onus might well be on those two, but don't bet against the man with Kofi Danning. Dustin Wells hasn't got a goal yet this season, but wouldn't bet against him on the big stage.
No, and that's when the big players, usually arrive and turn up, and they'll be looking at Danning and Wells and Thurtell and Bailey, and they'd like to really stand up today.
Nathan Shakespeare waiting for his assistants to get into position. And Belconnen United are potentially 90 minutes away from a grand final. Gungahlin United waiting nervously on the sidelines. They can do nothing. It's all about those in blue now, and whether they can upset those in red, who no matter what will be here next week. Jordan Thurtell, the new dad, ever present this season as well. Shame for Max Melik to miss out this afternoon.
He's had a good year, hasn't he, Russ? And I think it's a back injury, I believe, that's put him out. Or
he tweaked his back last week, but I understand he rolled his ankle at training yesterday, which doesn't help him, poor lad.
Yeah, maybe don't train the day before a game, I don't know.
At the other end, Sam Brown, who's also been ever present. 2 of the best goalkeepers in the league out there this afternoon. Jordan Lamb, a late inclusion into the lineup. Believe it or not, Jordan Lamb was the last Canberra FC player to score a hat-trick before Emilio Kishta. Believe it or not, in round 15 last year against the Rhinos, Jordan Lamb came off the bench and scored 3 times in 8 minutes, which is a fair return. So, Colbertado a striker, what's Jordan Lamb?
Super striker. Another interesting one here, Russ, is a bit of an anomaly here. Regardless of who makes the grand final, be it Belconnen, Gungahlin or Deakin, the last 3 clubs that Jordan Thurtell has played for.
That used to be the record that Michael John held for FFA Cup. If you wanted to play in the FFA Cup, you needed to sign Michael John. Tuggeranong United, Gungahlin United, and I think Canberra Olympic. First 3 seasons of FFA Cup, Michael John involved in all 3 squads. 4 seasons, sorry, yeah.
Olympic made it twice, so yeah.
Lifted forward by Wells, looking for Flores in behind. First touch of the afternoon for Gerbischer. Pochi recalled to the team this afternoon. Oida in midfield, turning and finding Subasic. Jordan Lamb wide, Colbertaldo, and here's Oida on the attack. He's got Barac inside him. He's got Emilio Kisha arriving as well, and he's cut across that one, and that's half a chance for someone of his quality.
He could have almost let that ball roll past his body and taken it with his left to get past Zach Mabry, who went to ground early, but Oida basically started that move from deep in his defence. Just the way that he moves and gets forward is just, he's a pleasure to watch, the kid.
We've talked about him throughout the season as being our player of the year. I'll be astounded if he doesn't get that award. Mickle's first touch finds Mabry. It's a stretch away, Zach Mabry, and he's got away from Ryan Keir rather easily, but there is Oida coming back. Flores, bundle of energy. Flores, Kishta has it for Croatia. And Jordan Lamb into play. Kishta again to Colbertaldo. Gianpaolo. Kishta once more. And first touch for Darren Bailey, and he's found Danning. Looking to turn on the afterburners if he can. And Flores being to it by Subasic.
I'll be really interested to see how Flores goes up against Matty Gerbisser. Now, Gerbisser to me is the best defender in the competition, pretty much, hands down. And just the movement and the busyness of Flores will be enough to make it a very interesting contest. We'll be listening out for some choice words there from Matty Gerbisser as well, I reckon, Russ.
Ryan Keir finds Gerbisser. Only his fourth start of the campaign, his fifth game overall. Pochi, Gerbisser. Tried to get away from Flores. There's a free kick there.
Yeah, a little handball in there, and Matty's not of approval.
Ryan Keir, 9 games this season, 2 goals for Ryan Keir. Did get the injury time equaliser here against Tuggeranong United, which broke Tuggeranong hearts, of course, and did get the first goal of the season for Canberra Croatia as well against Monero Panthers.
Interesting, isn't it, Russ, that you've got, Tuggeranong were minutes away from inflicting a first defeat on Canberra Croatia, but it wasn't the only time that Canberra Croatia have actually come close to defeat this season. Obviously, Belconnen ran them very close in only last few minutes, and even Olympic.
Lamb on the overlap. Tries to get in the middle. Yeah, your point you were making, Frank. Yeah, Olympic pushed them close as well, and they needed a penalty to get a point here against Gungahlin United as well. So it's not been all plain sailing for a side that's been unbeaten. Yeah,
and I guess that's the thing, is people look at the table and think someone's cruised through a season and they're undefeated and what have you, just looking at the figures, but. The truth is a story that's that they've actually had to struggle and they've had to fight and they've shown a lot of character and resilience to actually get some of these results.
Daniel Colbertaldo strolling over to fetch the ball and wants to take the corner. Dom Gianpaolo joining him. Adrian McCaw making sure they don't go short, and Liam Mickle coming to support him as Gianpaolo does get it. They look to create a different angle for Colbertaldo to cross towards the far post. Subasic nods it down into the path of Pochi and then loses out. Dustin Wells for the Blue Devils. Mickle on the break, looking for runners ahead of him. Danning to the left, but Danning couldn't take that in his stride, and Jordan Lamb should be able to tidy up for the home team. Brown to Kishta. Pochi looks for Oida, but he's only giving it to Luca McCaw, and Nico Oida wins it back from Luca McCaw and looks to find Gianpaolo down the middle here, and Darren Bailey just runs across him. That's a bit of defending from Bailey.
Yeah, probably Luca McCaw was unlucky not to get a free kick over this side of the field, Russ. But and speaking of new dads, I mean, not new this time, but Dominic Gianpaolo with an addition to the family only about a week ago as well.
Been a fair few this year.
Might be a few more after lockdown, Russ, who knows.
I didn't want to go there. It's a family show. Ryan Keir sliding it for Barac. Opened up onto his left-hand side briefly, and he swung that one across, and it's Kishta. Great save, Thurtell. First chance of the afternoon falls to Canberra, Croatia, and Kishta forces a fine save from the goalkeeper.
Yeah, didn't do much wrong at all there. Kista's great little ball in from Daniel Barac. He continues on from his good form from last week, and what an amazing save there from Jordan Thurtell.
Nice height for the goalkeeper, but he flung himself across the goal and makes the stop, and that is a warning for Paul McCaw's side. Not that they probably need one against this side. Oida. Subasic. Just looking at that, Frank, would you be a little bit worried the ease with which Kishta strolled in almost completely unmarked?
It's interesting, isn't it, Russ? You talk about Canberra, Croatia and the amount of goals they've scored, and then you spoke about how many midfielders score goals for them. Those deep runs from midfield. Here we go.
Oh, hang on. Flores has robbed Ryan Kieran. He's onside here. Luca Flores, real chance. He's rounded the keeper. He's gone wide and he's hit the post. It's still not over. Back towards Danning. What a chance for the Blue Devils. It goes begging. McCaw tries to fling it in. It's still not over just yet. Wells finds Mabry. Mickle. And he's got away from Balac way too easily. Liam Mickle. Mabry, can he deliver something into the area? Keir got it half away. It might drop in the box and McCaw can get in there. And we mentioned this off air, Frank, and this goes back to what we talked about Flores plenty of times in the past. He always seems to get one really good chance before he finds the back of the net, and maybe that was it.
I think so, Russ. But then again, you talk about being the best defender in the competition. There's an example of it. Matty Goodbrisson never gave up the fight there and save off the line to come off his leg and hit the post.
Yeah, it was good defending Luca Flores when he went round the goalkeeper. Maybe his first touch was a little heavy, but you can't quibble with a player that scored 6 goals this season. But you mentioned it as well in the first, we were chatting beforehand with the coffee, in the first 10 to 15 minutes, he just seems to find that one opportunity, and it's usually a really good one, and he just doesn't take it.
Yeah, look, I mean, if you're having a bet, I probably wouldn't be putting my last on Luca Flores to be first goal scorer, but at the same time, he's going to give you a fair run at it.
Kishta has it. It's ironically, he does score the majority of the first goals for Belconnen, but
it takes him 3 or 4 chances, that's all. Look, he didn't do too much wrong, like you said. It's probably his touch around Sam Brown was a little bit heavy, and he did really well to actually get around the keeper. He just needs to keep his head up now and keep going. But again, Matty Goodbrisson, just you talk about the attitude of Canberra, Croatia. A team not trying to win this. I don't think you would have seen their captain flinging himself near the post to save that off the line.
And credit to Luca Flores as well. He always comes back from that as well, and he never seems to get him down if he does miss a chance. And I'm sure he will get another one before the afternoon is out. There he is, winning the ball back from Colbertaldo. But he's shown what he's got to offer. He's got the pace to get away, and he's got the opportunities to cause problems. Bailey looking for Flores. There he is, nipping in ahead of Gerbischer again. Matty Gerbischer might be in for a busy afternoon.
I think so. And I mean, again, that was just a false touch. When the actual chance came from Subasic trying to play out and his false touch, and he's either stepped on the ball or given the ball away. But as soon as Flores is in space, he's pins his ears back and it's pretty much handlebars down and gone.
Kishta wins it back, finds Oida striding forward away from McCaw, who's stuck to the task. Jordan Lamb takes over. Gianpaolo dropped deep to pick up the ball, looks to slide it down the channel for Colbertaldo, who hadn't made the run like a striker would.
Oh, that's harsh. That's so harsh.
Also true. Clements, formerly of Canberra, Croatia. Darren Bailey, formerly of Scotland. Bit of a nicer kick-off time for those in Europe this week, Frank.
Yeah, I saw the post quickly just before we got on air, Russ, and hello to Ian Bailey and his family back in Scotland.
Yeah, less of an early morning call, more a bit of breakfast around about this time. Used to early mornings over here with the Premier League. Nice early kick-off times, most of them.
Yeah, what are you, 2 o'clock this morning?
2:30 for United tomorrow, and then you got a nice 5 a.m. for Arsenal.
That's easy, 5 a.m. We can do that with our eyes closed.
Absolutely. Wells plays it forward to Danning. Luca McCaw. Wells. Danning. Good move this from the Blue Devils. Look, Kofi Danning on the right foot. Scored some goals here at this stadium as well, of course, for Canberra, Croatia in the past. And they started not quite brightly, the Blue Devils, intent on getting the points they need. Yeah,
and interesting with Kofi Danning, Russ, it's not that he's prolific and scores like a bag full of goals every week, but he scores some really important ones. Anytime his side really needs someone to stand up, his hand's always up. He's just relentless and in his pursuit to succeed.
30 and 54 before today, 3 and 9 this season for Kofi Danning. Flores chasing, Subasic there, and Flores is giving up a few inches on all those defenders, isn't he? Ryan Keir, Subasic and Gerbischer.
And probably 20 kilos as well, Russ.
He's certainly causing them issues so far. Here's Gianpaolo dropping very deep to get involved. McCaw was there. Danning up against Colbertaldo. Colbertaldo having another bite at it and comes away with the ball and looks for Daniel Barac. Good knock over the top. Barac brings it down. Bourgeot got a foot in. Gianpaolo thought about it and was teeing it up and didn't let it go. Here's Wells on the break to Flores. There's numbers forward here. Phil Bourgeot's continued the run from the back, and he's got Flores in acres of space here for the Blue Devils. Danning on the far post coming in now, and it might fall for Dustin Wells, and he's cut across the ball, and that was a good chance as well for someone of his quality.
You could see that unfolding, and you see the run that Dustin Wells made to the far post. I was just hoping he could get picked out, and he did. It just sat up probably a little bit too high for him just to get over the top of the ball, and he was probably trying to keep it down rather than worry about accuracy. So good chance again, Belconnen.
And still they come. Adrian McCaw to Wells. It might fall for Adrian McCaw. Ryan Keir's there. Lamb finds Colbertaldo. Firm challenge from Clements. Got the ball, but only after he had bundled over Daniel Colbertaldo. Pochi gets it back from Daniel Barac. Ryan Keir square. Oided. Colbertaldo. Wells is there, and here's Luca Flores again. Lots of space for the forwards. Kofi Danning forced a bit wide with that ball from Flores, but takes over. Looking for some options now as Subasic snaps in on the heels. Forced back to Clements. Luka McCaw. Finding gaps though in this Canberra-Croatia midfield.
Yeah, they're doing really well. You know, to be honest, Russ, it's a good start from Belconnen. What'll be 15 minutes in? They've created two of the best chances of the game, pretty much, except for the Kisses header. But yeah, they're doing well.
Wells has found Mickle. Mabry up in support. Numbers in the box here for the Blue Devils again. Gerbischer in the way. Colbertaldo's got there ahead of Bourgeot. Now Barac has a bit of space to move in. Luka McCaw tracking back Colbertaldo. Chance for him to go forwards. Blue Devils getting back in numbers now. Kishta takes it in his stride and then flicked it with the outside of the boot. I think he was possibly looking for Lamb.
He was looking for Lamb, and it was a good run from Lamb, but just found Dom Gianpaolo in the way.
Wells clips it forward and Flores is offside. Good opening this.
Yeah, very good. It's end to end, and it's a very good opening, and good chances being created, and that would have been a pretty tight call, I reckon, too, Russ.
Dustin Wells with one, Luca Flores with a glorious chance, and at the other end Kishta with two, slicing one wide and heading one down the throat of Thurtell, who made a good save. Promises of goals. Belconnen have scored in all bar one of their last 18 NPL matches, of course. That was the 0-0 with Tuggeranong. 0-0 with Tuggeranong at Melrose. The loss to the Tigers last week, Frank, was the first time this season in games that Belconnen have scored that neither one of Danning or Flores was actually on the score sheet.
Interesting stat. It's like everybody's just taking a bit of a breath here, Russ. It's after 15 minutes of frenetic end-to-end action. I think everybody's just sort of slowed it down and see where they are.
Wells touch. Bourgeot, who was a big part of that last attack, he got himself forwards. Scored a goal in his 50th appearance here in the finals game against Gungahlin in the 2-2 draw. Phil Bourgeot to put his side ahead. Fancies another one at Deakin Stadium. Colbertaldo, that's a loose one, but Kishta wins it back off Wells. Keir comes square to Oided. And they bring Gerbischer into play with a mink pink haircut. He's not dyed it out yet.
No, but geez, he brings a lot to this team. You can just hear him talking, Russ, the whole time. He's like having another coach on the field. He's really good at giving instructions and not just talking for the sake of it.
Pochi finds Barac over the top. Mabry sticking to the challenge. And Mickle back to help out as well. Bourgeot challenging with Pochi. Good one as well. Blue Devils come away with it, with Mickle. Flores wants it, but Gerbersha gives him a little nudge in the back there, just to let him know he's there.
Yeah, and look, I just back to the Phil Bourgeau. He probably feels like he owes Belconnen something. He lost possession against Tigers in a really important part of the game last week, and that put him 1-0 down when Kitcher broke and scored. So yeah, he needs a big performance today, and he probably feels like that was one that they let get away last week.
Very unlike Phil Bourgeau as well to make that kind of error. Jordan Thurtell may be feeling the same way as well. He missed the cross when Ola Rigby scored the winning goal. Clements goes forwards. Adrian McCall. Wells wins a header. Sun's gone away and the clouds are coming over. Not quite as warm as it was earlier this afternoon, but still very pleasant here at Deakin Stadium. Bourgeau and Maybury took his eye off it.
Yeah, he couldn't complain about a bobble there. It's the pitch is immaculate again.
Earlier this morning I should say, Belconnen United and Monero Panthers made their way through to the under-23 grand final. Canberra Croatia already in the NPL grand final. Who will they play at the moment? It's Gungahlin United, because the Blue Devils need a win. A draw no good for them after Gunners' 2-0 win over Tigers. Prior to this one, Kears left that a bit short, but Gerbersha was in there, and he's got a little clip from Leon Mickle. Nice to see a bit of words from Flores and Mickle to Gerbersha as well. He's been given a few of them himself over the years, Matty Gerbersha.
It's funny because the young guys, maybe they just don't know the reputation of Matty Gerbersha and over the last few years in the NPL, but they'll find out pretty soon. But it's good to see. It's good to see.
Yeah, Flores having a few words. Here he is. I like his attitude. It's and spikiness from the youngsters. Don't care who they're playing against. McCaw. Bailey. There's another that doesn't mind a tackle. Danning.
Or a chat.
True story. Clements at the back to Bourgeau. Blue Devils happy to keep possession. Bailey slides it down the line to Danning. Got half a yard on Subisic, but he soon closed the gap, and Gianpaolo's back there to help in the defensive role. Kishta finds Gianpaolo. Colbertaldo, and he's brought down by Dustin Wells. Dustin Wells has picked up 2 yellow cards this season.
He's actually started this game off pretty well, Russ. Like, we, as you said, we really needed to see the leaders in Belconnen sort of stand up and take the fight to Canberra Croatia, and they have. They've done really well. Thurtell's kept them in the game with that save. Wells has created and nearly scored an opportunity. I'm just wondering whether or not they'll get a better opportunity all game to score than that Luca Flores one.
20 minutes gone, live on Bar TV Sports. Top 4 final series. Canberra Croatia 0, Belconnen United 0. Tomorrow afternoon 1:30. Myself and Steve Forshaw will be on Canberra Olympic versus Monero Panthers. Tuggeranong United versus Woden Western at 3:45. If you'd rather watch Women's National Premier League football, it's semi-final day tomorrow. Canberra Croatia versus Canberra Olympic, and Belconnen United versus Gungahlin United. Double header live on Bar TV Sports as well from the Riverside, from Deakin Stadium. You can watch that from here.
Are you getting your stadiums mixed up again, Ross?
No, it's definitely here tomorrow. I'm at the Riverside. It can't be the same place, can it?
Yeah. Well, where were we last time? Selhurst or Deakin?
We've been at Selhurst Park this year. I was watching Tottenham last week, I think.
Last week, yeah.
I did finish watching the All or Nothing on Amazon Prime, though, about Spurs, so that's probably where it was.
About Spurs or about Mourinho? Because I've been watching it as well. I'm thinking a lot. It's almost a Mourinho documentary, that one.
It's great to watch. It's great to watch, though, and I love the way that Mourinho has this passion for it. And he just calls Tottenham not a bunch of nice guys, and we all know that. Soft.
Yeah, I'm an Arsenal fan, so I've got nothing nice to say about them. So, but it's a fascinating look into the back rooms and the back scenes of a Premier League club. I suppose the one thing I would say though, Russ, is just with Mourinho, he won't be in Hollywood anytime soon. His acting isn't all that great.
It is when he gets in front of the press, though.
Brilliant. Yeah, it's brilliant. No.
Pochi finds Balac, looks for Kishta. Clements is there. Wells in midfield. Luca McCaw turns into trouble. Ryan Keir was waiting. Nico Oida takes over. Kishta. Neither Oida nor Gianpaolo win for that, and that was an easy one for Clements. Bailey at the back. Swings it to this near side to Mickle. Found himself a yard or two. Wells. Clip ball forward. Now Flores has peeled away from Gerbischer here. He's got himself a couple of yards. Gerbischer charging across, and Flores has done him here, and he's too quick for the centre back. Flores fires it across. Danning's there, and he's skied it from 2 yards. What a chance, goes begging for the Blue Devils.
It looked like it just bounced just before Kofi had a hit of that, and it just bounced up, hit his shin and's gone over. But Luca Flores, well, I mean, he's backed up his words that he was given to Matty Gerbischer with some actions there, and that was outstanding.
He had Gerbischer on toast there, and Gerbischer couldn't recover. Just too quick, and Kofi Danning, well, you would have put your house on that.
Nearly did, Russ.
You'd be homeless if you had. What a chance. Another good opportunity for Belconnen, and we saw this in round one where they created a fair few openings against Gungahlin United, didn't they, in the first 25 minutes?
Exactly right, and you know, there's every possibility they could be 2 up right at the moment, and probably in a grand final against this team.
Well, they're carving open the chances. Kier nods it down. Potri facing the wrong way as far as he's concerned. Sam Brown clips it forward. Colbertado and Bourgeot challenging. Bourgeot comes up strongest. Dustin Wells tries to force it through a non-existent gap. Ryan Keir in the way, and he's done well to find Kishta. Opens the body up. Oida, Lamb's busting a gut to get forward here if Oida can find him, and he tried to, but it was just a bit too far behind Jordan Lamb. Yeah, just slightly behind him, but you know, you can see just the intent from Belconnen right at the moment. You know, Dustin Wells just got rolled there by Ryan Keir, but straight back at him and working really hard in midfield to make sure that ball doesn't go forward. You know, there's some real signs here that Belconnen are very close to breaking through this Canberra Croatia defence. 25 minutes gone, you'd have to say, apart from the Kishta head the Third Tails had to save, Belconnen probably had the better of it. Yeah, they have. And they're winning the 50-50 challenges, as demonstrated there by Bailey, and they're away again. Mickle takes on Pochi. His first touch just got away with him, but Wells can keep it going, and just too far ahead of Zach Mabry. Yeah, I think if Mabry kept on running there instead of just expecting that to his feet, he might have actually had some joy. Dustin's actually played him in front of him to run onto, and by the time it's gone, it just scoots off this ground, and it's out for a goal kick. There'll be some very nervy Gungahlin United players sat in the Ivan Bullen stand over there at the moment, Frank, looking at this and going, hang on a minute, this isn't the way it's supposed to play out. No, but the season's not been the way it's been meant to play out, is it? It's a funny old season, and who would have thought Olympia in the bottom four, and just a whole heap of different things have happened that are unexpected, which is the beauty of the game. Well, despite being on the back foot, you wouldn't write off this Canberra Croatia side. They've got far too much quality in it. Nico Oided finds Subasic. Gianpaolo. Wells snapping into the challenge to veterans of the game. Ryan Keir takes over, and here's Michael Pochi with a bit of space. Mickle coming back to help out. Pochi swings it in towards Colbertado. Clements only as far as Barac. Tried the left foot one. Half-hearted appeals for handball. Barac goes the long way round. Pochi looking to get away from Mickle. Kishta. Keir in support. Oida's got space square, but Flores takes over, and he's off at the races again, and he's away from Gerbischer again, and Ryan Keir back helping out. Doesn't care about reputations, does he, Luca Flores? No, and again, talk about attitude. The fact that Ryan Keir's lost the ball and been able to get back and cover Matty Gerbischer there, because if he hadn't, Flores is away. Colbertaldo. Pochi's turn to go forwards. Both sides willing to have a go. Nico Oided. Jordan Lamb. Barac touch, too heavy for Gianpaolo. You can see what he's trying to do there. A little flick around the corner. It's been entertaining opening to this one. No goals, but not shortage of talking points. You can see both coaches are up on their feet, Russ, and they're
not moving as much as you're moving the microphone on me, just quietly, the people at home. But yeah, both coaches very animated at the moment. You know, Paul's obviously in a position where they need a win, and he's probably frustrated that they haven't been able to capitalise on the chances that they've created. And Dean's probably just asking a few questions of his midfield and back four.
Yeah, we've got to remember that even though Canberra Croatia are in the grand final next week, there is players out there who are playing for places in this. And we said this at the top of the broadcast. Dean Ugrin should be looking at it and going, well, am I going to play these players? Or does someone like Pavlak come back in? Jason Ugrinich come back in? Does Nick Bobolas make a start? Depending on what happens here. It's all very much up in the air. Marko Vrkic, of course, is around as well. So we may well be on the bench today. Haven't seen him across there. But yeah, it's a free kick to Belconnen. So there is questions for Canberra Croatia as well.
And from these free kicks for us over the last few weeks, Isaac Clements has been able to manage to get on the end of these, but hasn't been able to capitalise. Interesting to see how they set up here.
Wells over it to lift it into the danger area. Garbisha got the header away. Pochi helps it even further clear, and Barac won't keep it in play. Encouraging if you're a Blue Devil supporter, by what you would have seen so far. Very much in the contest and very much making the running, as you would perhaps expect of a side that has the greater need, and arguably they should be ahead.
Yeah, probably unlucky not to get a free kick against for him there, Luca Flores. Michael Pochi was really leaning quite heavily on him, but he's got away with it and the one who's teamed the ball.
Kishta brings it down, brings Pochi back into it, and they'll gain a few yards off the back of Luca McCaw. It's had a good season this year as well, Luca McCaw. 3 goals to his name.
Yeah, to me, I mean, I know he played a lot of first grade last year, but this has been his breakout year. Even in a truncated season, the way it has been, he's really stood up, and he's an established first grader now for mine.
He's managed to pick himself up 3 yellow cards in 9 games as well, which is no mean feat.
No, but to be honest, I think he's. He picked up a few yellow cards last year, but he's picking them up for the wrong reasons. Like there's a bit of dissent there and a few things like that. The yellow cards he's picked up this year have been, genuine challenges and things like that. And there's nothing wrong with picking up a yellow card here or there if it means that you're winning 50-50 challenges.
Certainly put the right foot forward this year, Luca McCaw. Here's Danning. Here is McCaw. Scored a lovely goal here in the defeat to the Tigers last week, exchanging passes with Mickle. Here is Mickle. Garbisha is there. Pochi turns away. Oida gets there. Barac is going to get there ahead of Bourgeau and try to find Colbertaldo. Not quite coming off as in the front third at the moment for Canberra Croatia. Bailey on the overlap, looks for Danning. Continues to run forward the left back, but Danning's come backwards to find McCaw. Dustin Wells looks for Maybury. McCaw in field. Now asks Mickle to make the run down the right flank. Can he find a delivery? Maybury will change of pace for him as well, but Ryan Keir just so strong on the ball.
Yeah, they seem to be overloading their right-hand side in the attack as well, Belconnen. They're really targeting down the left-hand defensive side of Belconnen at the moment, and Michael Pochi is in for a pretty torrid afternoon if that keeps on happening.
Inside the final quarter now of the first half. Still no goals in this one, but Belconnen United have been knocking on the door. Canberra Croatia not letting them in just yet. Colbertaldo stretches to keep it in play, gets a free kick. Bourgeau a little too tight to the Canberra Croatia forward.
Forward, okay. So let's just call him an attacking midfielder and be done with it.
Look, you told me you said he was a striker, so...
He's told me a lot of things over the years, Russ, and they're not all true.
Subasic, who's definitely a defender. Jordan Lamb, who, as I mentioned earlier, masquerades as a striker with a hat-trick.
Would have been great there if Suba grabbed that ball halfway and drilled the whole team and scored.
Would have set it up perfectly, wouldn't it? Would have been a bit of a surprise for a bloke that scored 6 goals in 75 matches. But as Frank said, it's been one of those seasons. You wouldn't put it past any of these players coming up with something special. Bailey looking for Flores. Gerbischer wins the header. Subasic. Kishta. Oida. And now Ryan Keir. Canberra Croatia looking to stamp some authority on it. Get the game played on their terms for a couple of minutes. Subasic finds Gerbischer. So much experience in every single position on this park for those in red.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot to be said for the experience of these players as well, because lesser sides and lesser experienced sides might have crumbled after that onslaught from Belconnen early.
Or he just flick finds Gerbischer and he'll sweep it down towards Potri. Barac has made the run ahead. Kishta's inside, and that's where he goes. Emilio Kishta driving at the heart of the defence, steps away from Wells. Kishta lines one up from distance and fizzes it goalwards, and it doesn't go too far wide of Jordan Thurtell's right hand post. Kishta likes one from range.
He does, and it's probably, Dustin Wells is probably a bit lucky to get away with that. He's left the foot out when Kishta went past. There's just a word on the run there from Nathan Shakespeare, but it could have easily been a free kick in the middle of the park there for Canberra Croatia as well.
Just a little bit of an acceleration in the step from Emilio Kishta got him away. That's a nice turn from McCaw, Adrian McCaw that is. And he's been brought down by Jordan Lamb, who's going to cop the first yellow card of the afternoon. Jordan Lamb.
Just a few signs, Russ, just looking at some of the Belconnen boys, it looks like they're not deflated, but you can just see that there's a little bit of frustration that they haven't been able to capitalise on the chances that they've had. Now just keep an eye here on Clements trying to get to the back post.
Wells over it again, a bit further out this time. Once again, Bourgeot and Clements in the middle. It swung in towards the cluster of players. It was won by Subasic, but didn't go forward. Luka McCaw was there. Bourgeot got a piece of it, not too much. Now the break might be on here for Barac. Colbertaldo. Barac, not much up here for Canberra Croatia, and Barac will happily keep possession for his team. Potri. Oida looks for Barac. Got away from Mabry momentarily. Ryan Keir.
And Russ, this is the time of the game every week that we've seen Nico Oida really step up. The last 10 minutes of each half, where his fitness really kicks in and he starts to get a bigger influence over the game. You've seen that. We've seen it time and time again. He hasn't had much influence over this game so far, but just interested to see how he goes in the last 10 minutes.
5 goals in 8 matches before today for Nico Oida. Talk about a breakthrough year. He's only scored 1 goal prior to this season. Certainly looking in good form. Shot up a few inches in pre-season as well, he seemed to.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't played too much in Canberra, to be honest, as far as senior football goes, because, I mean, he spent a lot of time in Sydney and playing in that Sydney FC under-21 side. So, this is what you expect from someone who's, with the reputation he has and the ability that he's got. So, I don't think he'll be spending too much more time in Canberra either, just quietly.
Mickle finds Mabry looking to take on Gerbischer, and Matt Gerbischer just eases Zach Mabry off the ball. 2 highly combative characters. No score here, coming into the final 10 minutes of an entertaining first 45. As we stand, next week will be Canberra Croatia versus Belconnen United in the grand final. Unless the Blue Devils can find a way past this Canberra Croatia defence, a Canberra Croatia defence that's only conceded 1 goal in its last 3. Bottom 4 final series tomorrow. You can see Canberra Olympic versus Monaro Panthers, Tuggeranong versus Woden Western. We're expecting some experimentation from teams tomorrow. Keir goes through towards Barac, who tries to get away here from Dustin Wells, and the bounce nearly did for Wells, who recovered nicely. Who thumps it forward then, Wells, looking for Danning. Subasic wins it. Keir, the change of direction for Lamb. Gives it away to Luka McCaw, who's turned into trouble again, and Ryan Keir can break away here. He's got Gianpaolo to the right, and Oida's arriving in the middle, and Gianpaolo couldn't pick him out. Bit of a let-off that for the Blue Devils.
It was. I think Dom's pretty disappointed with the ball he was trying to play in, but again, this is that Nicol Urda period where he starts getting into the box, and he could have well been on the end of that attack there.
Colbertaldo. Kishta. Colbertaldo. Subasic. Garbesha happy to go all the way back to Sam Brown. Colbertaldo. A little bit of coming together with McCaw. All ends in pats and handshakes.
Yeah, gets back a lot for a forward, doesn't he?
In a false 9/10 role. Pochi advancing, finding Balac. He's got some space here and a left foot that we know can deliver. So he cuts back onto his right just to make me a liar.
Maybe he should have sat on his left.
And that was a stretch for Flores. Couldn't keep it in play. Coming to the end of the first half, Canberra, Croatia growing into it a little. Gianpaolo to Pochi. He looks to take on Mikel, who's back there snapping into the challenge and doing well to win the ball and get his team a free kick.
Yeah, he's done well. He's really stood up this first half as well. Russ, he's not shy. He's gone forward and now he's defending at the other end. He's done a great job.
Talk about players that have had a breakout year. All of his appearances this year, Leon Mikel got himself a goal as well in the win over Monero Panthers at the Riverside in the home match for the Belconnen that was played away. They've been without a home venue this year, haven't they?
Yeah, really disappointing. I mean, we know there's been obviously issues that have sprung up with COVID and whatever else, but the sooner we get football back at Mackellar, the better for everybody involved here in Canberra.
It's been a strange period, hasn't it? Because with COVID, rampaging across the country, almost been in a bubble here in Canberra. It's easy sometimes to forget.
Yeah, it is. I mean, especially anyone that's followed NPL across the country, and things like FFA Cup and whatever else, and you take an interest in other competitions, and you just I mean, we've been fortunate that we've been able to get a competition up and running, and I just probably think we probably forget that every now and then.
Pochi back to Gerbischer. Subasic square, and he'll invite Sam Brown to deliver something forward. Goes short to Oida and he's miscontrolled it, and Luca McCaw was interested. Got away with one there, Canberra, Croatia. Oida finds Colbertaldo. Gianpaolo's made the run, peeling in behind Phil Bourgeot here, who's come back to defend, and a bit of a mistake, and Gianpaolo went in. The whistle had gone. A little nudge there perhaps from Dom Gianpaolo. Didn't hit the target annie, but probably not much in that. I thought I was having a few nightmares from last week, I reckon, Phil Bourgeot, to be honest, and I think Dom, probably even though the foul was given, I think he'd still be disappointed that he didn't finish that. A relieved man perhaps, Phil Bourgeot, to hear the whistle as Dom Gianpaolo threatened in the final 5 minutes of the first half to give the home side the lead. Ball's raked forward towards Mikel, and he'll keep it in and take on Pochi, and he's got the better of Pochi, who's got back in to make the challenge. Kishta's back defending. Garbesha lifts it forward. A little nudge in the back from Colbertaldo, and that was a fairly easy one for Nathan Shakespeare.
Yeah, it was, and maybe I mean, Zach Mabry's actually done a really good job down the right hand side, and he's been doing it for years, and he's got the armband this year, and he's actually showing a fair bit today, Ross. I think he'll be pretty happy with his performance so far.
He's stolen a yard or two on Gianpaolo here, and Wells has picked him out. Gianpaolo's back helping Pochi, and Mabry's got away for it, pulled it across. Clements back into the danger zone. No one in a blue shirt there. Might come from McCaw, who tried his luck. Danning is there. Clements still up from the back, playing as a left winger at the moment. Isaac Clements looking for a trick or two to find himself a yard of space. He can't get away from Colbertaldo though, who's too strong and too good, and Brown lifts it forward. It's going to come straight back though. Darren Bailey brings it down for the Blue Devils. A goal right now for either side could be psychologically massive. Gianpaolo finds Balac all on his lonesome, and forcing them backwards again. Belconnen, Ryan Keir, Kishta, Keir again, drives it forward to Balac. Colbertado looks for the little turn. Free kick to Croatia.
Yeah, and you can hear Paul Makel, if you can't on the screen, Paul's definitely screaming at his players to get closer and tighter and making sure that the boys in red can't turn. Just get a little bit too tight there, and as soon as they do get rolled, then Clements has gone through with that challenge and brought down Colbertado, who it looks like he's feeling the effects of that one.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes to the break. Be crushing for the Belconnen to concede a goal right now. After the chances they've created, they will feel they should be ahead. They're defending at the moment. Gianpaolo over it. Right-footed, swings it in. It's Bailey who is diving to head clear. Pressure still on though. Canberra, Croatia, with a chance to launch this in the area. Matty Gerbischer might well wind this one up.
Ryan Keir's probably his target there, I'd say, and they can run off him.
That's where it's going, towards Keir, and beaten in the air by Liam Mickle at the expense of a corner.
Brave defending there. I mean, to put your head in that sort of position, he's done really well there, the kid.
Kishta to take. A fair few red shirts up there. They make a habit of scoring late in halves, usually late in the second half. Kishta swings it in, and Oida got unmarked, and it's tipped over the bar by Jordan Thurtell. Just drifted away there, Nico Oida, and got a fair piece on it.
He did, and it was a great save. I think Thurtell always had it covered because it was pretty much straight at him, but a metre either side at that sort of height would have made it very, very interesting.
Set up from the other side, Daniel Colbertaldo tasked with this one. Oida stayed up there, of course. Barac is in there too. Gerbischer and Subasic on the far post. Ryan Keir just loitering unmarked on the far post, and it almost went towards him. And as soon as it out of play, Ryan Keir there, he's just marking the post and just peeled away, and no one went with him.
Yeah, interesting setup. I mean, they got three or four really good targets in there in the box there. Canberra, Croatia, Subasic, Gerbischer, Oida and Keir, all who have really accomplished with their head. So it's actually hard to pick them all up.
Luka McCaw finds Flores, fouled by Ryan Keir. We're into the final 30 seconds plus stoppage time. Dustin Wells over. This might be the last chance for the Blue Devils before the break. Dustin Wells lifts it forwards. Bailey arriving. It's going to fall for Mickle on the far post, looking to open it up, swings it in towards Luka McCaw, who got the header down on target, but with no pace to taste Sam Brown. Now here comes the Croatia, but they've given it away to Maybury. Gianpaolo into stoppage time. Colbertado cleverly lets it run between his legs and it gives him half a yard on Bourgeot. Finds Gianpaolo, runners to the right. Oida's there. There's a big overlap and an overload on the right hand side, and Wells is there, and he actually wins the ball, and that was probably a bit lucky.
Yeah, I thought Dusty had taken one for the team there by bringing Oida down, but he's managed to get away with it, and Oida's been pinged for handball.
Nathan Shakespeare indicating a shoulder to shoulder. Flores gets away from Pochi rather easily. Adrian McCaw in support. Danning. He's got Luka McCaw out wide. He's got Flores this side. Wells tries to slide it through, and the flag goes up against Adrian McCaw. Matty Gerbish is still asking a question about the foul on Nico Oida at the other end, and he's a bit angry about it.
That's not like Matthew. He's such a calm, pleasant soul.
He's still talking about it. Nathan Shakespeare's happy to let him have a chat.
That's not like Matthew either.
Even if they go on and win this 3-0, he'll still be talking about it at full time probably.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with you, Russ.
Matt Gerbischer would. Colbertado beaten to it by Kofi Danning, and he's talking about calling that one as well. One of the game's great characters here. We're well into stoppage time, and it's a chance for Canberra, Croatia, possibly the last one of the half. Dom Gianpaolo is in the penalty area, or just on the edge of it, with Subasic here. Lamb's going to swing it in right-footed. Bailey gets a bit of the header on it. It's going to fall for Gianpaolo after a fashion. Luka Flores is chasing back, and Gianpaolo happy to concede. Not really sure where all this has come from, this stoppage time. Don't remember there being many stoppages.
No, so we're into nearly 2 minutes over right at the moment, and I don't think there'll be much more to go.
And there won't be any more to go, Frank, because that is half-time and a half in which Belconnen United probably had the better of it for most of it. Canberra Croatia ending the half quite strongly as well, but at the break, little to choose between them, and Belconnen United still need a goal.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong, Russ. I think Belconnen definitely had the better of that half, and Matty Gerbis is still going on about the free kick that didn't eventuate. That could be a long conversation with Nathan Shakespeare. Well, they got 15 minutes before they come back on. Look, Canberra Croatia, I think you questioned before the game around their attitude. The fact that they're still tracking back, the fact that Matty Gerbis is clearing things off the line and throwing himself into tackles, it just says a lot about their character. And Belconnen, they're well worth their 0-0 at the moment, and probably should be ahead. Having taken their chances, they could be up by 2 or 3 at the moment. But it's all set up for the last 45 minutes, the same as the first game. We were 0-0 at half time, and then whoever can break open the game early in the half will probably find themselves as the grand final opponent to Canberra Croatia.
We will find out in 45 minutes plus a bit of stoppage time. At the break, though, it's Canberra Croatia already in the grand final, holding on against the Blue Devils. It's Canberra Croatia 0, Belconnen United 0. Welcome back to Deakin Stadium for the second half of this NPL final series. Canberra, Croatia versus Belconnen United. 0-0 at the break. I'm Russ Gibbs. Frank Keisha still with me for half four of the day, and the clouding over. One change at half time. Canberra, Croatia have made a switch. Nick Boblis has come on for Jordan Lamb. So there's a big change and a bit of a switch around at the back.
Yeah, Russ, so Subasic will come out to right back, and Nick Boblis will be the partner with Matty Gerbisa there. Probably had a lot to do with Jordan Lamb getting a yellow card just before half-time as well. We know Canberra Croatia have got a game next week, and Belconnen do like to target those wings, so probably just a bit of precaution there from Dean Greenwich, but all set up for a massive second half.
Underway. Belconnen United need a goal. They need to win. A win puts them into the grand final. We'll have a repeat of this one next week. Or, if they don't, Canberra, Croatia will play Gungahlin United next weekend. Pochi looks to put Barac in early. Subasic to right back now, which will be a bit different challenge for him if Flores peels away here.
Yeah, and I guess, Russell, I mean, we spoke about this a little bit about, players playing for positions and especially for grand final positions. Subasic is probably one with Vrikic and Boblis around who's going to partner Matty Gerbisa. He's locked in, he's a given. Whether or not Lamb comes back to the starting 11 for next week. And then you've got people like Giampaolo as well, whether or not he can maintain a position in the side, and even Pochi, with Pavlak on the sideline.
Lots of questions which we'll find an answer to at some stage. Maybury comes in. Kishta wide to Barac. Pochi back to Matty Gerbisa, and all the way back to Sam Brown.
And the weather's obviously changed here, Russ, a little bit. The clouds have come over, and the sun's gone away, and it's probably about 3 or 4 degrees cooler than it was midway through the first half.
Yeah, I made the schoolboy error of not putting my coat on at half time, didn't I? Rectified that situation. Kishta looking to get on the end of this, and he's got an opportunity here to find Barac in the penalty area. Clements is with him. Barac charges it down and looks to win the corner. Can't quite do so, and Clements plays it off his opposite number, Emilio Kishta. I think the rain might stay away. We should be okay. You didn't mention, I think there was a threat of rain across the capital at some stage today, wasn't there?
Yeah, and there definitely was, Russ, and interesting now to see how Belconnen approaches next 45 minutes. Again, I'd say the emphasis would be on not conceding. They obviously need to get the win, so sooner or later he's going to have to roll the dice, and whether or not he actually brings Tarazi on and actually plays a front three would be interesting to see as well.
Danning has it deeper than he's mainly operated this afternoon, but he's found Mickle, a chance for Leo Mickle to drive at the heart of the defence here and create an opening, but the flag was up against Dustin Wells. I don't think Dustin Wells wanted that ball a little bit earlier than what he got it. A reminder, women's NPL semi-finals tomorrow. Canberra, Croatia versus Canberra Olympic. Gungahlin United versus Belconnen United. 2 huge matches here at Deakin Stadium. Next weekend is grand final weekend. You can join myself and Frank Keisha for NPL grand final action. Canberra, Croatia versus either Gungahlin or Belconnen. NPL2 finals, semi-finals next weekend as well, Frank, as they head into the grand final. Be interesting to see who makes that.
Yeah, that's been a really fascinating competition as well. Wagga and Ugali have been up there all season, and Queensland City have been up there all season as well. So that's a really good competition.
Wells with a free kick. Plenty of blue shirts in the penalty area. It's swung in towards Flores, who went for the acrobatics. It's found its way through to Clements. Sells a dummy, gets a shot across goal, and there's no one there in a Blue Devils shirt, and you can hear the reaction from their fans and the bench. Darren Bailey out of your shot, head in hands. It was inches away. If someone had gambled, it was a tap-in. Well, we were assuming it's a tap-in.
Yeah, and Clements has done really well. I think everybody expected him just to sort of post that back post, but he's turned his player and flashed that across the face of the goal, and just wanting for a touch.
Another chance, you would say. Less clear cut than the one that Danning missed in the first half, and the one that Flores passed up as well. But still another opening. Pochi, a little pull back on Mickle, not seen by Shakespeare, the referee. Nothing came of it though, so nothing untoward. Thurtell sends it forward. Flores challenging with Bobolas, who easily beats the diminutive striker in the air, Nick Bobolas. He'll be playing for a place next week.
Yeah, he has. I mean, he's been carrying injury most of the season, but grand final experience, premiership winning experience. The start of this season, you probably would have thought him and Gerber would have been the starting centre backs for Canberra, Croatia, but things haven't panned out that way.
Well, someone's going to miss out next week because Dina Greenwich can't pick everybody. Somebody going to miss out from the squad entirely as well, which is going to be a bit unfortunate.
Well, Nicol Kalfas hasn't featured for a couple of weeks now, so there's a lot of players there.
Danning back to Wells, clips it forward, looking for the runner Flores, who's snuck in behind briefly, and Bobolas comes across and smacks it into the car park area. They've created chances, Belconnen. Sooner rather than later, I think they're going to throw everybody forwards. They might be prone to being caught on the break, but they're still in it in terms of they only need a goal. Here's Flores driving into the area. Danning, bit of space here for Kofi Danning. He's got Mickle outside him and he almost squeezed him in. It's found its way to Mickle. Flores, Luca McCaw in the area. Back towards Adrian McCaw, who clips one towards the far post. Flores challenging with Brown, and Brown gets there again. Danger signs for Canberra, Croatia, and Belconnen looking sharp.
They've started both halves really, really well, Russ. There's been periods in that first half where they could have easily been 2-0 up, but this opening onslaught from Belconnen really has Canberra, Croatia on the back foot at the moment.
Luka McCaw battling with Barac, who stretches a leg out. Subasic clips it forward. Bailey in the chase with Colbertaldo, easily won by the left back. Back to Thurtell again. I mean, you wouldn't say they haven't been throwing numbers forward, Frank, but eventually they're going to chuck everybody forward, aren't they? When do you think that happens? Do they just keep playing the way they're playing and hope the chance will present itself? Because they've created 2 or 3 already.
Yeah, well, here they go again, Ross.
Danning looking to take on Gerbischer.
Yeah, look, there's a couple of options there for Paolo. He's got, obviously, Tarazi on the bench. The other thing he could actually try is actually throwing Dustin Wells up front. We know how well he can get on the end of things, and he's a great finisher. So he could be another card that he plays.
Mickle looking to twist away from Ryan Keir, who uses experience to win the throw. Belconnen have their subs warming up. The bench, Jacob Garner, Michael Tarazi, Cassidy Tando, and Reece Flissinger, the goalkeeper, who I don't think we'll see this afternoon unless something untoward happens to Jordan Thurtell.
Unless they get 1-0 up and play 2 goalkeepers, Ross.
Unusual tactic.
We said it's been an unusual season, Ross,
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't become that unusual. Canberra, Croatia, unbeaten, of course, this season. Kishta, Colbertaldo, Subasic, Colbertaldo, Oida in midfield with a bit of space in which to work. Can roam forward here, and he's giving it away to Mabry. Now there's space the other way with Flores. Puts his head down and off he goes. Oida back to challenge and, well, is penalised. And again, you can see Matt Gerbischer doesn't agree.
No, surprised me. But again, just how well Oida covers the ground. Luca Flores had metres on him to start off with.
Wells thought about going early. There was plenty of blue shirts there. They're waiting for Clements to join the attack as well. Numbers to aim for. Swung in towards where Clements was arriving. Ryan Keir got the nod away, putting the pressure on. Darren Bailey with the throw. Got a result for you in the women's 5v6 match. Wagga City Wanderers 3, Tuggeranong United 1. A bit of 5v6. So what we realise after that is that Wagga City finished 5th like they did in the league, and Tuggeranong are 6th like they were in the league. So I'm glad we worked that out. Another game for everybody though, I guess.
Yeah, and a road trip for Tuggeranong and their coach Mike.
It was only to the Riverside.
Oh, was it? Okay, fair enough.
I mean, it's still interstate, I guess.
Yeah, it's an interstate trip.
Long way to come for Wagga City to find out that they were the 5th best team in the comp, which they kind of knew anyway.
No, that ball's... Oh.
A couple of goals for Megan Castle there, one from the penalty spot as well, so congratulations to Sam Gray and his team for winning that match. 7th v 8th are playing at the moment as well, the Riverside in the women's. Canberra United Academy leading Woden Western Wanderers 2-0. Danning swings it right. Look at the space here for Leon Mickle in the penalty area. Is this their moment? Mickle, it's not, because he's tried to be a bit too clever against Potri when he perhaps could have just unleashed.
He either had to pull the trigger there or play in Dustin Wells, and took the third of two options really, Russ, there.
And Canberra Croatia looking to break. Oida finds Barac. Bailey standing up to him. Barac finds Kier. Gianpaolo's made the run. Oida went as well. It's broken for Barac. Chance for him to swing this into the penalty. Oida was there, and that was a really important diving header from Phil Bourgeot to clear for a corner.
Yeah, look, and Russ, and what you were saying before around, what Paul might do, he might have to roll the dice sooner or later in this game, and it might actually be that he sacrifices one of his centre backs to play through at the back and bring on another striker.
Kisher with the corner, swings it in, and Kier was unmarked and was inches away from getting it. There's a Belconnen player down here. I think it might be Bourgeot. Landed rather awkwardly.
Yeah, so probably it might be a bit of a head clash too, Ross. I'm not sure, but really interesting period coming up. We've got 35 odd minutes or so, give or take, to go, and as we said, if Belconnen don't win today, then that's their season done. So you don't want to die wondering. Paul's done an amazing job with this group of young players, brought in some excellent recruits, and he doesn't want to walk away from here thinking, what could have been or what should have been. They've done enough to be in front now. He's just got to underline that and get that first goal.
Phil Bourgeot in a bit of trouble. Jacob Garner would be an obvious replacement, of course, or you could bring young Cassidy Tando on, who's played a bit of centre-back, I understand. Normally a right-back, but could fill in there if needs be. But Jacob Garner's played a fair bit of first-grade football at centre-back. Take a lot for Phil Bourgeot to come off there. Yeah,
but this might actually be the opportunity that if he does assess this over the next sort of 5 or 10 minutes and he thinks Bourgeot can't continue, that might be the opportunity that he takes to bring on another striker like Tarazi and just mixes it all up a bit. Like we said, Nick Boblis has been out for a lot of the season. Subasic is playing in a position that he hasn't played in a lot of the season, so maybe throwing a third man forward might create a different aspect to the whole game.
Just having a bit of a discussion as to what they're going to do with the ball here. And the drop is for Canberra Croatia to carry on with the attack, of course. Gianpaolo finds Kishta, wide to Pochi. Kishta again. Mabry's in there and he's under pressure here. It's going to fall for Cole Bataldo, who rifles one goalwards, and Thurtell down low makes the stop. Bit of a routine one for Thurtell. Did make a really good one in the first half when he tipped over Oida's header, and he also had to make a plunging save for Kishta's header as well, so he's been kept busy.
Yeah, and we've mentioned the two goalkeepers all season around they've probably been the best two keepers all year. Sammy Brown was fancying getting up behind my mic today, Russ, didn't he?
Yeah, he did fancy it, and then you realised that you were going to go in goal instead. And that didn't work out, did it?
No, the kit didn't fit. That was all. That was the only reason.
Absolutely. Couldn't fit over Frank Keisha's rippling muscles.
This is big mouth.
Free kick to the Blue Devils. Half an hour to go. Gungahlin United still poised, ready to play in the grand final next week if Belconnen cannot find a breakthrough. Danning's peeled into the channel. Gerbischer's gone with him, and Gerbischer wins the ball. Pochi back to Gerbischer, clumps it forward. Adrian McCaw under pressure from Colbertaldo. Does well, the young midfielder, but it's given it away to Kishta. Here's Colbertaldo, only Gianpaolo ahead of him. Colbertaldo looking for support runners. Oida's there with him. Gianpaolo outside, important foot, or touch I should say, from Darren Bailey. Gianpaolo looking to continue the attack into Colbertaldo, and Gianpaolo treads on it and concedes a free kick for fouling Adrian McCaw. There's always that threat on the break though, isn't there, Frank? The Canberra Croatia might be able to pull something out of the hat.
Yeah, look, the quality that they've got, even if Belconnen are dominating periods of the game, there's always going to be that threat going forward that, with the players that Canberra Croatia have at their disposal, that they can nick one at the other end. And if they do, there's every chance that they'll go on and get 2 or 3.
Good free kick that from Thurtell to Mabry, who's advancing, and he's got Mikel outside him. Can he fire something across the 6-yard box? He can. Gerbischer there, corner, Blue Devils. Bourgeot and Clements take that as their cue to move forward. Well, Clements does. Bourgeot was going. He's sending Darren Bailey instead. And Phil Bourgeot stays at the back with Adrian McCaw and Zach Mabry. 3-on-1 against Daniel Colbertaldo. Mikel with the corner. Delivers it into the 6-yard box. Flores, improbably up highest. Couldn't get the header on target.
No, disappointing there, because there's a really good ball from the corner, and then you've probably got one of the shortest players in the Belconnen lineup on the end of it. If that lands to a Bailey or a Clements or a Wells, or even a Danning, it could be a different story.
Keep knocking. Said it in the first half. They're knocking on the door. Haven't found a way through. Colbertaldo looking to get away from Bourgeot and wins his team a free kick. Nuggety type of play by the attacking midfielder, centre forward, deep lying false 9 and 10.
Outstanding, Ross. Outstanding. And again, we're just seeing this game open up again, Ross.
Subasic looking to take on McCaw. Gianpaolo, can he pick someone out in the penalty? It's a sweeping ball in. Balac stealing in. It might come for Colbertaldo. It will come for Oida, who fires it goalwards. A big peel. It's a penalty. Handball against Isaac Clements. And a yellow card. Now, could he have got out of the way of that one? That was coming at him at a rate of knots.
Russ, not sure what you thought, but on first looked like that got hit straight at him, and he almost turned his back. And whether or not you agree with the handball, I think the yellow card's probably a bit harsh as well.
A massive call. Nathan Shakespeare very quick on the whistle to give the penalty. There's not a huge amount of arguments from those in blue. Canberra Croatia have been awarded 5 penalties in 2020 and have missed 2. This is their 6th penalty in 9 matches. As I said, they have missed 2 of them.
We spoke about this a few weeks ago, Ross, around we got all the penalty takers on the field. We've got Kistis, we've got Uda and Gianpaolo, and Gianpaolo's the one standing up to take it.
2 goals this season for Dom Gianpaolo, both from the penalty spots. Big kick in the season for Belconnen United and Gungahlin United, this one. Dom Gianpaolo against Jordan Thurtell. This could have huge ramifications on the makeup of the grand final next week. It's Gianpaolo. He's usually calm. He's hit the post. Oh, it's sneaked in. Dom Gianpaolo, by the finest of margins. Canberra Croatia edge in front.
And you got to feel for Belconnen right at the moment, Russ. They've done everything they possibly can, bar take the lead. I'd love to see the replay of that, just to see how well Clements knew that ball was travelling to him. He seems to have turned his back, and his arm was by his side as well. It's a tough call for Belconnen, but a really well taken penalty there from Dom Gianpaolo. Probably had his heart in his mouth for a little bit when it hit the post, but 1-0 Canberra Croatia.
Thurtell went the right way and it snuck its way in off the post, and Dom Gianpaolo's 3rd successful spot kick of the season, a 6th penalty of the campaign that Canberra Croatia have been awarded. Now Belconnen have it all to do. Mikel at the other end runs into Gerbischer right on the edge of the box. There's a big shout for a penalty at the other end as well, and it was close.
It was close. I mean, it was close, but just he's not even talking to his assistant referee down there, so I don't think it was close enough to question that. But I think Matty actually felt that the young lad fell into him. I think, yeah, it was tough. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one, that.
Where he's placed it's nowhere near the box, so I'm not sure it was there. But anyway, Dustin Wells has got himself a better angle from this free kick. Is there a response for Belconnen United? Wells stands over it. Plenty to aim for. Good delivery. Bailey went near post. Big shout for a handball of Gerbischer there, and a goal kick's been given. Surely that's a corner.
Well, I think Belconnen were actually calling for the corner, let alone the goal kick, let alone the penalty, Russ. It's probably just on the end of a couple of tough calls. 50-50, they haven't gone their way, and it looks like Garner's going to make his way on the field for Belconnen at the expense of Phil Bourgeot. So that might mean that they do go through at the back, and Garner can move into midfield.
Yeah, maybe Bourgeot not quite recovered from that knock he suffered from the clash in the corner a few moments ago. Belconnen United have 25 minutes to score twice.
If anything, Russ, it looks like Mabry's being pushed into midfield there.
Kishta. Mabry in with a challenge on Pochi. Mickle stabs it forward to Danning. They will start throwing everything at it now. Mabry streaking into the penalty area. Mickle arriving, but Sam Brown's there. There's going to be gaps left right and centre, you would think, because Belconnen may as well go down fighting. They've given as good as they've got, and they find themselves 1-0 behind, which is rather unfortunate, but kind of sums up Canberra Croatia's season.
And a little bit of afters there on Kofi Danning when he released that pass to Mickle there. Kofi's not one to react, but you can see he just stepped up his urgency a little bit there after they lost the ball in the box.
Bailey comes thundering across to volley it into touch. Nick Bobolas is going to take his time over this one. We're going to see a change. Marko Vrkic is going to come on. See who's coming off. Michael Pochi making way. So Marko Vrkic gets himself a run. Another player who will be wanting to put his hand up for next week. Kia comes away with it. Gianpaolo prods it wide. Here's Barac onto that left foot, looking to get a shot away. Garner staying with him. Barac just drops the shoulder, fires it across, and Uida wasn't far away from getting a stud on it. Marko Vrkic been unlucky not to start today. He's done nothing wrong this season.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I think he came off last week against after the game against Gungahlin, and they put him under a little bit of pressure, the Gungahlin strikers, and tried to press him. So he's got a lot to prove, I guess, and he'll be trying to get into that starting 11 for next week.
Flores touch. Luka McCaw away from Subasic. Flores, Bobolas with the little bit of a nudge in the back of the young forwards, gives away the free kick, and Bailey is taking control of this one. Well, he's left it for Luka McCaw. Everybody in blue bar Clements and Garner, and Dustin Wells trusted with the delivery. Usually can be relied upon to pick the right ball, Dustin Wells, and Belconnen United really do need him to do that now. Lifted in over the back, and it wasn't bad, was it? Matt Gerbischer got there.
Yeah, it's a really good run there from Adrian McCall by the looks of things. And I'll tell you what, I mean, we watched a couple of games today. I don't think anyone has delivered a ball into the box as well as Dustin Wells consistently over the course of the two games.
Well, Mickle needs to do it from the corner. Swings it in, another good delivery, and there's the header. It came off of Clements. Danning has it. He's forced well wide and backwards. Finds McCaw, who picks out Dustin Wells. Garner wants his square. Jacob Garner, his first involvement, finds Mabry. Steps past the one challenge into Gerbischer. Now the break might be on for Canberra Croatia. Got a feeling we might be saying this a lot in the last 20 minutes. It's going to be a real test of the cardiovascular efforts of this Belconnen team to get up and back, because they will be basically doing doggies, Frank, in the last 20 minutes, you'd think. I'll just bring you in on that in a second as Gianpaolo goes down and Bailey sees him off.
Yeah, I mean, or they're going to chance their arm and leave players forward, even if Canberra Croatia do get forward. So, I mean, any opportunity they do get to draw Canberra Croatia out and then maybe hit them on the break themselves. Belconnen are just one goal away from really sort of putting the pressure on again and giving themselves a real chance. I know that sounds obvious, but they're well in this game, even at 1-0 down. They're still not out of this grand final picture for mine.
Luka McCaw looking to keep his team in it. Quite incredible, in 10 games this season that Canberra Croatia have had 6 penalties. Pretty amazing when you think about it. Dom Gianpaolo coming off. Dustin Wells coming off as well. Tarazi for Wells. Strange one for you.
We've seen it actually a few times over the course of the year, Russ. I don't know if it's a predetermined plan or a set thing that they have with about 20 minutes to go, where Dusty comes off and Tarazi comes on. But the way Wells has been playing, I think he's going to be very disappointed to be sitting down, and you could see he was actually disappointed coming off. So, but Tarazi will bring an extra dimension up front.
Canberra Croatia made a change as well. Even Pavlak has come onto the pitch for his 177th NPL match for Dom Gianpaolo. So a bit of a reshuffle for Canberra Croatia as well. Mabry finds Flores, wants it back. Mabry into the penalty area. It might break for Tarazi. His first involvement is pretty positive, and it was well defended by Bobolis, I think that was. But Tarazi, instant impact.
And it's interesting, isn't it? Maybe into midfield that probably a little less accustomed to playing there than say than Wells. But it's an interesting call there from Paul.
Garner launches a long one. It's come off Gerbischer, nodded away by Bobolis. Finds Pavlak. In the olden days, Pavlak would have pinned his head back and gone here. A bit more circumspect these days. Finds a pass instead, and it's a decent one. Clement's head prevented it reaching Daniel Badac. That one's a decent ball forward as well. Bobolis wins that one. It's going to fall for Danning. Ryan Keir back to win it. Kishta, who's been a bit quieter this half. Mabry goes through him to win that, and Zach Mabry is going in the book here.
Yeah, he seemed to go through from behind. It was pretty, I wouldn't say it was late, but from behind, and Kisses is obviously feeling the effects of that. And maybe that's part of the thinking there from Paul is maybe we'll keep on defending and keep on tackling and keep on asking the questions. And it looks like don't know if they're making another change here, but Paul's definitely talking to another substitution.
Yeah, it's going to be an NPL debut for Cassidy Tando, Australian Schoolboys International. As I said, nominally a right back, can play central defence as well, and at a push they could push him forward. He'll bring a pile of enthusiasm, you would think. Be interesting to see who comes on for. Big ask for a young boy, isn't it, to come on with 70 minutes to go and a team leading 2. Might be the X factor. Don't know how much Canberra Croatia would have known about him.
No, well, I suppose that the one thing is if he comes on at 1-0 down, there's probably a lot less pressure on him than coming on at 1-0 up and saying hold on to a lead. So it might just be the perfect time to introduce someone like that.
Daniel Badac working his socks off again. Few forwards in the NPL work as hard as Daniel Badac. I think you'll agree with that, Frank.
Yeah, true. He's pretty tireless and obviously fit as a fiddle with his PT and the work that he does outside of football. So yeah, he just runs and runs all day.
Makes me tired just watching him. Keir with a header. Luka McCaw in midfield tries to step away from Subasic, who keeps touch tight. Adrian McCaw. Bailey. Clements. Garner. All hands to the pump for Belconnen United, 15 minutes plus stoppage time to find 2 goals. Flores looks to take on Subasic, a little burst of pace. Looked for Tarazi, it hit the heels of the substitute though, and Gudabisha can just smack it anywhere for Canberra, Croatia.
Yeah, unfortunate that Tarazi had made a really good run. If that ball was played in front of him, he was in a big chunk of space there, and it looks like Luca McCaw's coming off for the debutant, Russ.
Last throw of the dice for Paul McCaw. Cassidy Tando, an NPL debut in final series, which effectively a semi-final. Luca McCaw makes way, and the youngster will look to get involved as quickly as he can. Bailey with a long throw forward. Tarazi must flick from Oida. Pavlak finds Subasic, clips it up the line. Clements wins a header. Adrian McCaw. Oida can take over and then advance. Strides out here. He's got Kishta making the run. Emilio Kishta in the area. Can he finish it off? Kishta saved by Thurtell, and Bailey stretches to keep his team alive and in the competition. Could have been the end of it there. Colbertaldo, Kia, Kishta looking again to create a shooting opening, and Belconnen United survive, and here comes Danning up the other end, and he's got Tarazi peeling off, and that's a great ball to find him, and it just sat up on Tarazi. It's going to fall for Flores, and he's fouled by Ryan Keir, is he? Play on. Advantage, says the referee. Nice touch, Tarazi to Flores. Can he bend one goalwards? And he tried to disguise the shot to the near post.
I don't know if he was trying to disguise it to the near post, Russ, but I think he a really nice little ball there, reverse pass there from Tarazi. The opportunity came to Flores, and I thought he was trying to bend that to back post.
Give him the benefit of the doubt, Frank. Barac, meanwhile, bursting away for Canberra, Croatia. Pavlak's made a great run to the far post. Colbertaldo's in there as well. It's behind both of them. First chance for us to see what Cassidy Tando can do. Bringing it forward and looking for the pass to find in behind Verkic. It's found its way to Mikkel. Gudabisha strides back with the young winger. And Brownie, Sam Brown, just kicks it out of play. You can feel the urgency, can't you?
You can, Ross. It's really stepped up a notch here, and Paolo's put a lot of trust into the young guys now, and hopefully they'll reward him.
Mabry played it wide, and it's found its way to McCaw. Garner infield. Flores, lovely little turn at speed to get away. Flores still going at Gudabisha, who sticks a long leg out and times it well.
Tell you what, if defenders will be watching Luca Flores, and how long he stays in Canberra and whatever career he does have, whether it's locally or further afield, I'll tell you what, they're going to be panicking every time he runs in the box at him, because this kid has got some clever moves.
Excitement machine when he gets it to his feet. Mikkel swings it into the penalty area. Bailey leaps high, nods it goalwards. Clements will challenge with Brown, and Brown does win it. He just can feel the ripple about his teammates as well when he gets it. Try and get it to him as quick as they can. Adrian McCaw finds Tando. Can he spread it wide? He can. He picks out Mikkel with a decent pass. Only 2 in the middle at the moment for Mikkel, who goes in alone. Tarazi tries to find a gap himself. There was a leg left out there by Ryan Keir. Tarazi stayed on his feet. Mabry, pressure mounting from the Blue Devils. Mabry gets a nibble from Kishta, and a free kick is given. You can feel the excitement here, Frank. Belconnen turning the screw.
I tell you what, Tarazi was very close in. It was a bit like the Josh Gillespie tackle before in the first game, where he's definitely caught a bit of a knock, or a bit of a touch, and he's managed to stay on his feet. Had he not, there's a very big decision there for Nathan Shakespeare to make.
12 minutes plus stoppage time to go. This would set up a grandstand finale. Belconnen United still believe they need 2. Mikkel over the free kick. As you'd expect, plenty of blue shirts in the penalty area, plenty of red back to defend it. Mikkel swings it towards the far post. He's overcooked that one, and it goes away for Belconnen United. But you can just feel that they are up in the ante, and they are going to throw everything at this.
Yeah, they have, but that's quite deflating, isn't it? You got 8 or 9 players in the box, and then you just knock it past that far post, and no one gets a chance for it. The players come back to halfway and set up without and obviously that takes its toll on their confidence as well.
Oh, for a Dustin Wells in that kind of position. Darren Bailey wants to get on with it. Huge throw towards Flores. It was won by Bobolas. Fell rather kindly for Canberra, Croatia, to Gerbischer, who finds Kishta. Tries to bring it under his spell. Won't keep that in, will he? He will. Does well there, and that's come off Ghana. Looked like more of a handball than the penalty.
No comment.
Come on, Frank. Teeing you up there for a fine.
You tee me up to get my phone exploded.
Sent forward. Bailey wins the header. I'm surprised we haven't had any comments about the penalty. We usually get a fair few.
Let me check my phone.
It's on silent. Oida. Colbertaldo turns away. Ryan Keir. Marko Verkic has found himself loads of room on the flank. Infield towards Oida. Kishta. Oida. Good tackle. Jacob Garner. Still falls for Kishta though. Subasic. That's asking an awful lot of Ivan Pavlak. Maybe 15 years ago. Even then, would have been tough.
Gee, you're harsh on him. He's been a stalwart for Canberra, Croatia. He's played that many NPL games. The guy's allowed to get a bit older, isn't he?
Got to get again because he's retiring this season. He's only got this one and the grand final left, so certainly been a player in Canberra who's won the lot, Pavlak, and multiple times. He's still up there. Barac. Be rather fitting if he could find himself on the score sheet. Oidet finds Kishta. It's opened up here. He's put it for Ryan Keir. It's back for Ryan Keir, and defensively Darren Bailey was in the way again, and he needed to be. Surprised Kishta didn't unleash that one.
Interesting comment I've just received, Russ, asking whether I'm prepared to go and do a rest course. Only if you're prepared to do an A licence.
Going on a ref course doesn't mean you get the decisions right, does it? Just means you got a licence.
bit like an A licence as a coach. Doesn't mean you're going to win everything.
100%. Kishta flicks it towards Pavlak, who's chasing. Bailey's back there with him. Did Oida get a knuck in the back there from Tarazi? I mean, no one knows what handball is anyway, do they? They wouldn't teach that on a ref's course. They've changed the laws again for next season, for this year's Premier League, haven't they? Apparently if it hits you on the upper arm now, it's not a penalty, or somewhere by the shoulder.
I don't know. We've got the best game in the world, and we keep on tampering it with the rule changes. So just leave it as it is. Get everybody understanding what they are, and you'll cut out a lot of controversy, Russ.
Ball to hand, hand to ball. Anyway, it was given, and Nathan Shakespeare, to be his credit, gave it very quickly, didn't he? So he must have seen it. Eagle-eyed, let's say. Maybe we should go on a ref course before the start of next season, Frank.
You reckon? Well, apparently we've got to put our money where our mouth is, and that's fine. Like, we can do that if you want.
Happy to be invited. Ghana's giving it away here to Kishta, and there's a chance for Barac to stretch the legs. Kishta in support, 4-on-3 for a moment. Kishta from Barac finds Colbertaldo. He lets it run. Pavlak could finish it, and he's been denied by a wonderful save from Jordan Thurtell. Outstanding from the goalkeeper.
Yeah, and a lovely little leave there from Daniel Colbertaldo, and it keeps us interested for the last few minutes now, Russ.
6.5 to go, plus stoppage time. Danning, Belconnen still need those two. Tando keeps it in play. Can he lift a ball into the air? It's a good one towards the far post. It's a great ball. It's found Mickle, and he went with the left foot with no real conviction.
No, and that's a couple of times now, just in the last few minutes, where Mickle, who's been outstanding pretty much all game, has probably just let himself down. Once with a delivery for a free kick, and then again just with that opportunity to maybe have a strike on target.
Good delivery from the young sub, though.
Yeah, he's done pretty well, the young kid. So he's one for the future, obviously.
Bailey wins the header. It's nodded forward by Subasic to Colbertaldo. Couldn't get hold of it. Clipped forward. It's a good knock by Clements to Mickle. He's in behind here. Can he pick out the right ball? Leon Mickle fires it goalwards, not far away as well. The chances coming thick and fast for Belconnen. They haven't found a way through though, but they keep knocking on the door.
Yeah, and another great opportunity, and he's for all credit to the kid, he's done really well there. He's taken the opportunity. He's just put it well. Just put it a little bit over, but he struck it well. Did well to actually get in a position to take the shot, Russ. And 5 minutes or so to go, and they've got to go now. Belconnen, they've got pretty much 5 minutes of their season to go.
Looking to find a way, trying to find a way through this Canberra-Croatia defence. At the very least, you'd say they deserve a draw out of this one. They've created enough opportunities to do so. Here's Kishta. A Canberra-Croatia goal would seal it. Colbertaldo lays it off. Oida from edge, deflection and wide. Darren Bailey, body on the line for Belconnen.
This could be one of the better last 5 minutes in the season, Russ, the way we're going. It's end to end, and there's obviously got to be spaces and opportunities open up. Thurtell's made one great save. That's just another great block there, and at the other end we've got Mickle putting one over the top. So fasten your seatbelts.
4.5 plus stoppage time. Pavlak, left-footed, swings it in. Decent one towards the far post. Tando with the important header. Might drop here, and McCaw nods it away. Flores takes it under control, and off he goes, running again, and he's found Mickle in space. Belconnen flooding forward in numbers here. Tarazi busting a gut to get up with Mickle, who absolutely finds him. Here's Tarazi, real chance. Can he squeeze it in? He can't. It's taken away off the line by, I think that was Bobolus back there helping out. It's not over yet. Flores swings it in. The deflection finds Garner in the area. Danning back to goal, turns away. Kofi Danning fires it across the 6-yard box. Bobolus again with the clearance. Mabry nods it back in. It bounces for Tarazi, who prods it goalwards, and it's easy for Sam Brown. But chance after chance for Belconnen today, and it's been the story of their final series. Masses of chances against Gungahlin, and a huge amount of chances again today.
Literally a toe poke away from being 1-1 there, Russ. Tarazi was on the ground. Sam Brown's done a great job to save it. But yeah, like we said, these next 5 minutes or so, it could be one of the better 5 minutes in this competition.
Mickle finds Mabry. They are throwing everything as you would expect. Tando, been impressive since he's come on. Flores, who's been impressive all season. And he's got away from Oida, twisting again, looking to slide it through, looking for the run of Tarazi, who hadn't made it. And the pressure needs to be on, because Sam Brown is happy to take his time. You wouldn't begrudge the Blue Devils at least a draw, would you? No, absolutely not. They're well worth it, to be honest. They're still putting the pressure on. It's Mickle. Tries to squeeze it past Keir. Kishta has it. I mean, Canberra-Croatia would argue, but 2 matches here this season, and it's difficult to say that Belconnen haven't been better in both of them, and yet they may well lose both. Yeah, well, I wasn't here for the first, but I did watch it. So, Paul Makel must be pulling his hair out, thinking, what could have been. They're playing a team that's undefeated and probably run them as close as anyone has both times this season. Verkic finds Barac. Clements charging across to try and close down the angle for Daniel Barac. No intention of running the clock down. Twisting, trying to find a way into the penalty area, and he's won his team a throw. He's done that well. Barac to hold the ball up. This will eke out a few more seconds. Yeah, and you can just see some of the back four of Canberra-Croatia just taking a bit of a breath, and interesting to see Sam Brown sort of stretching out here, Russ. A ball went behind the goals, and you could see him sort of pull up and try to stretch his quad by the looks of things, or Achilles or something, but I'm sure he's not 100% at the moment. It's a firm tackle on Marko Verkic. Luka Flores getting involved again. It's a corner for Canberra-Croatia. And to their credit, they've put 5 up for it. Yeah, you'd like to see Belconnen probably keep a couple of players up on halfway as well. So if the ball does break, then they've got a ready-made outlet. But they don't at the moment. Everybody's in within 30 metres of their goal. Pavlak swings it in towards Verkic. Sliced clear. Flores got the touch, and here's a chance for Tando to break. Looking for support outside him. Now Tando goes through the gears. Cole Bataldo's back to make the challenge. Ryan Keir helps out. Badach in front of Bailey. And the flag is up for offside against Daniel Badach. Into the final minute. Belconnen United need a miracle. Well, they need 2 goals in 60 seconds plus stoppage time. Jordan Thurtell wants to get on with it. Everyone may as well push forward here for the Blue Devils. In fact, they have. Everyone except Maybury. Thurtell going to launch this as close as he can to the edge of the area. He drills it very flat. It's a good one. Gerbischer gets up, heads it out for a corner. Surely everybody piles into the box for this. Thurtell is joining the attack. Badach and Cole Bataldo are 2-on-1 with Zach Maybury on the halfway line. Delivery needs to be good. Mickle swings it in. Thurtell was there and he leapt for it, not with much conviction. It's still a Belconnen ball. Darren Bailey's going to take the long throw. We're into stoppage time at the end of the match. When this throw goes in, we're at the mercy of Nathan Shakespeare and his assistants. Bailey launches it goalwards. It's come off the head of Oida. Nodded clear by Gerbischer. Subasic will crack it up the field. Tando will pick it up under pressure from Cole Bataldo, and he's been robbed by Pavlak. Danning. Mickle out wide. Plenty of blue in the penalty area for Leon Mickle. Driving at it, fires it goalwards again, and just too high to test Sam Brown, and with that might go the Blue Devils' last chance.
Yeah, I didn't learn from his last shot and just need to get his head over that ball and just ask Sam Brown to either make a save or put it, because anything that comes out, the numbers that they had in the box there, and you don't want to be too harsh on him because I think he's played really well today, young Mickle, but probably just a little bit too little too late for the Belconnen right at the moment.
Cole Bataldo has it. Subasic chasing, very leggy looking Subasic, never going to get there ahead of Darren Bailey. Jordan Thurtell hammers it forward. Gerbischer with a header. It's going to fall for Jacob Garner. There's no red shirt close to him at the moment. Garner swings it in towards Flores, who win for the acrobatics. It's going to come out for Tando. Slices it goalwards. Danning's in the penalty area. He's got away from Verkic. 5 blue shirts in there. Another corner. They still haven't given up hope. Thurtell will get up there. Clements has gone as well. Bailey's gone as well. Everybody with a Belconnen crest on is in the box, except for Tando and Maybury. Mickle again with the delivery to the near post. Not his best. It might find its way though. Out. Tarazi cracks it goalwards. Real chance in the penalty area. Pinged around and Adrian McCaw couldn't get a foot on it. Now it's been nodded for by Oida. There's no goalkeeper at home. Daniel Badach, he's got players to the left and he couldn't find them because Tando has made a fantastic covering tackle. The youngster off the bench keeps his team in it for whatever seconds are left.
He needed to, Russ, because his header was the one that presented the opportunity for Canberra Croatia to break. He should have looked at sort of maybe heading that to an angle or out wide or bringing that down, but he's done really well to recover.
Thurtell, they still won't give up the ghost, Belconnen. They still believe. Gerbischer launches it towards Badach, who does his best to keep it in but can't. And they have given everything, haven't they?
They have, but they're going to rue the chances they missed in that first half. They could have easily been 2-0 up, and they've had opportunities in the second half to get themselves on the score sheet. But they're not giving up, which is great to see, and they're playing for their coach and their badge. But yeah, just sometimes that's just going to come up a bit short if you don't take your chances.
Kishta to Oida. Pavlak's made the run. If he can slide him in behind it, Ivan Pavlak against Bailey, and he's got in here. Pavlak to kill it off, and he's dragged his shot wide. Real opportunity for Pavlak to round off what would have been a cracking career ahead of a grand final appearance with a goal. Maybe he should have done better.
Yeah, look, showed a fair bit of pace too, Ivan Pavlak for this time of the game, and Belconnen lumping it forward now, trying to get that last chance.
Good opportunity for Pavlak there. Had chances to kill it off. It's been what we wanted. It's been open. It's been exciting. There's been opportunities. Badach chasing. Clements back there. Belconnen United are going to come up short, you would think. They're not going to be able to find the 2 goals they need. But boy, have they given it a dash this afternoon.
So Russ, Gungahlin, Canberra Croatia next week. By looks things.
What are we going to get? Are we going to get the Gungahlin that turned up and won 5-0 at the AIS last year, or are we going to get the Gungahlin that were beaten 5-0 by Canberra, Croatia last week? There's a bit of undertone in that one as well, a little bit of niggle. Two sides that maybe don't like each other too much on the park.
Yeah, and we spoke about this last week. You could see it coming, and that's full time. And unfortunate for Belconnen, they've come up a bit short today, and they've had an outstanding season under Paul Makor and his brother Danny. And look, full credit to the Blue Devils for putting their trust in the kids, and they're just a goal or two short.
Thanks very much, Frank. We'll be back next week to talk all things grand final, but just a quick preview. Canberra, Croatia, Gungahlin, we were mentioning there was an undertone, there was a little bit of niggle. There's been a bit of niggle in the games they played this year as well. We saw a 1-1 draw here, which had some thumping tackles in it as well, and we saw that 5-0 last week where there's a lot going on off the ball. It's got all the makings to be an absolute classic.
Yeah, look, and I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to extra time, Russ, to be honest. Even like a week out, I'm predicting it's going to be that tight that we could be looking at a draw, extra time, and even penalties. Even though Canberra, Croatia have been dominant this year, I just expect Gungahlin to turn up next week and do something that makes it a lot more difficult for them than it was 2 weeks ago when they won 5-0.
Looking forward to calling it with you next week, Frank. We started the day with 4 teams in with a chance. We've left with just 2. Tigers FC and Belconnen United. Blue Devils have fallen by the wayside, and the Blue Devils gave it a real good shot this afternoon. Good chances for Luca Flores and Kofi Danning went begging in the first half. In the end, it came down to a disputed penalty. Dom Gianpaolo scored it, and it's the goal that keeps Canberra Croatia undefeated. It's the goal that sends the Blue Devils home packing. The final score at Deakin Stadium: Canberra Croatia 1, Belconnen United 0.